Urgent New York Giants fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest New York Giants updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Giants fans! Today, we have some explosive, mind-blowing news that could shake up the entire NFL landscape, and, of course, it involves our beloved New York Giants. Now, I know many of you are always eager for updates, rumors, and the latest insider information, so stay tuned because what I'm about to share might just change the way you see the Giants' future. We're talking about potential blockbuster trades, quarterback shuffles, and strategic moves that could redefine the team's trajectory heading into the next season. And believe me, this isn't just rumor mill chatter, there's real substance behind these whispers, and it's worth dissecting every detail. So, let's set the scene. The Giants, as many of you know, have been in a bit of a transitional phase lately. After that promising start a couple of seasons ago, there was a lot of excitement about the team's future. But last year, injuries, inconsistency, and some tough losses kept the team from reaching the playoffs, leaving fans hungry for change, for hope, for a spark that could ignite a new chapter. And now, in this offseason, the front office is clearly looking to make bold moves. They want to bring in a quarterback who can lead the team, elevate the offense, and give the Giants that extra edge they've been missing. And here's where things get really interesting. Rumors are swirling that the Giants might be eyeing a significant shakeup at the quarterback position. And one name that's been gaining traction is Jameis Winston, currently with the New Orleans Saints. Yes, you heard that right, Jameis Winston, the former first-round pick, who's had his share of ups and downs in the league but has shown flashes of brilliance, could be donning the Giants' blue and white very soon. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Jameis Winston? Isn't he a bit of a roller coaster? Well, that's true, but let's not forget the potential that Winston has. He's a gunslinger, a player with a cannon for an arm, capable of making those deep throws that can turn a game around in a flash. He's also shown resilience and the ability to bounce back from mistakes, which is crucial for any team trying to build a winning culture. What makes this potential move even more intriguing is the context of Winston's current situation in New Orleans. The Saints, after losing Drew Brees, have been in search of stability at the quarterback position. They brought in Derek Carr from the Raiders, hoping he would be the answer, the veteran leader who could steady the ship and bring some consistency. But now, with the NFL offseason in full swing, the speculation is that a trade might be brewing, and Winston could be part of that puzzle. The Saints, according to reports, might be interested in acquiring Carr, a guy with a reputation for being reliable, a true field general, someone who can run the offense smoothly and bring leadership. And here's the twist, if the Giants manage to pull off a trade involving Winston, it could open the door for a big swap with the Saints. Rumors suggest that the Saints could be looking at Derek Carr as part of a deal, seeking a fresh start and a new face to lead their attack. If that happens, Winston's move to the Giants could be the result of a strategic trade designed to benefit both franchises. Imagine, for a moment, Winston in New York, leading a team with talented skill position players, a solid offensive line, and a defense that's been improving steadily. The Giants' offense, which has struggled at times, could finally get that spark they desperately need, especially if Winston can harness his talent and avoid the turnovers that have haunted him in the past. But let's take a step back and analyze what this could mean for the Giants. The team's recent history has been a roller coaster ride. There were high hopes when Daniel Jones was drafted, and he showed flashes of brilliance, especially in the 2022 season. But consistency has been a problem, and injuries have hampered his development. The front office has been under pressure to find a long-term solution at quarterback, someone who can be the cornerstone of the franchise for years to come. Winston, with his arm talent and experience, might be an intriguing option, especially if he can fit into the offensive scheme and buy into the team culture. Now, I know some of you are probably asking, what about Daniel Jones? Will he stay or go? That's the million-dollar question, and honestly, it depends on how these negotiations unfold and what the Giants' front office envisions for their future. But it's clear they're exploring options, and Winston's availability could be a game-changer. If the Giants acquire him, it could mean they're prioritizing immediate impact and veteran leadership, or perhaps they see Winston as a player who can push Jones and create healthy competition. Either way, it's an exciting possibility that has fans talking everywhere. And let's not forget about the bigger picture here. The NFL offseason is always a whirlwind of trades, signings, and rumors. The quarterback carousel is never quiet, and every move has ripple effects across the league. When a team like the Giants shows interest in a player like Winston, it signals a shift in strategy, perhaps an aggressive push to contend sooner rather than later. The Giants have a talented core, with Saquon Barkley, a revitalized defense, and promising young players on offense. Adding a quarterback with Winston's potential could unlock that hidden ceiling and turn the team into a playoff contender. Of course, there are risks involved. Winston's inconsistency can be a double-edged sword. He's capable of those spectacular plays, but also prone to turnovers and mistakes under pressure. That's why the coaching staff's role in developing him would be crucial. The Giants' offensive coordinators and head coach have a history of working with quarterbacks, and if they can harness Winston's raw talent and teach him better decision-making, this could turn into a steal for the team. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Saints are also making strategic moves. If they're indeed eyeing Derek Carr as part of this puzzle, it shows their commitment to finding stability after Brees' era. Carr's experience and leadership could be exactly what they need to re-establish themselves as contenders in the NFC South. The Saints have a talented roster, especially on the defensive side, with players like Marshawn Lattimore and Cameron Jordan, and they're always a team to watch in the postseason conversation. But their quarterback situation has been unsettled, and a trade involving Winston and Carr could be the shakeup they need to retool quickly. Now, for the fans, this is what makes the NFL offseason so electrifying. Every rumor, every trade, every signing feels like a piece of a giant puzzle coming together. The Giants, with their history of ups and downs, are now at a crossroads. Do they gamble on Winston's upside? Do they stick with Daniel Jones and try to improve around him? Or do they make a bold move, trading draft picks or players to bring in a new face and shake up the roster? It's a lot to consider, but one thing's for sure, this league is full of surprises, and the Giants are right in the middle of the action. Looking at the bigger picture, it's not just about this one trade or this one player. It's about the philosophy of the team, the vision of the coaching staff, and the trust of the front office to make the right decisions. The Giants have a passionate fan base that's been waiting patiently for the team to return to the playoffs and challenge for a Super Bowl. And with these potential moves, they're signaling that they're not content with mediocrity. They're aiming higher, and Winston's arrival could be a key piece in that puzzle. Now, let's talk a little about Winston's career in more detail. He was the first overall pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Expectations were sky-high, and initially, there was a lot of promise. But his career has been a roller coaster, with moments of brilliance mixed with costly turnovers. He had a standout season in 2019 with the Bucs, throwing for over 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. That year, he showcased his arm talent and playmaking ability. However, his tendency to force passes and make mistakes under pressure sometimes overshadowed his flashes of greatness. The Saints picked him up in 2021, hoping a change of scenery would help him develop further, and while he showed flashes of potential, consistency remained elusive. In New Orleans, Winston has been a backup and occasional starter, but he's never quite had that full-time shot to be a franchise quarterback. Now, with the Saints looking at possible trades, this could be his chance to reinvent himself and prove that he can be a winning leader. For the Giants, acquiring Winston might be a risk, but it's also an opportunity. Opportunity to bring in a player with high upside, a cannon arm, and a desire to prove himself on a big stage. And let's not forget the impact of this potential move on the locker room. The Giants have a young, talented roster, and adding a veteran like Winston could provide leadership and confidence. The coaching staff would need to work closely with him, focusing on decision-making, ball security, and game management. If Winston can buy into the team's culture and develop chemistry with the receivers and offensive line, he could become the spark that ignites the squad. Looking ahead, the NFL draft is also around the corner, and these trade rumors could influence how teams approach their selections. Will the Giants hold on to their draft picks, or will they leverage them to make a bold move for Winston? Will the Saints look to draft a quarterback or focus on other positions? These questions are on everyone's minds, and the offseason is full of possibilities. Every NFL insider is speculating, every fan is eagerly awaiting news, and every team is strategizing for the upcoming season. In the end, what makes this entire scenario so captivating is the unpredictability of the NFL. One trade, one change in the roster, can completely alter a team's fortunes. The Giants, with their passionate fan base and rich history, are now in the middle of this exciting chapter. They're looking for that quarterback who can finally lead them back to the postseason, and Winston's name is at the top of the rumor mill. Whether this move materializes or not, it's clear that the Giants are serious about turning things around and making a statement. So, fans, keep your eyes glued to the news. Stay tuned because more updates are sure to come. We're entering a phase of intense negotiations, strategic planning, and bold moves. The Giants are making their moves, and we're all here to witness it unfold. And remember, in the NFL, nothing is set in stone until it's officially announced. But one thing is certain, this offseason will be a roller coaster, and the Giants are right in the thick of it. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Winston would be the right fit? Are you excited about the possibility of a trade? Or do you believe the team should stick with Daniel Jones and build around him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news, rumors, and analysis. Thanks for watching, and let's hope for an exciting future ahead for our team.